Official Wrestling presents Recent Developments. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the 10th episode of Recent Developments. I'm your host, Kieran, and I'm joined by our resident NXT buffin, it's Crafter.
Hello.
This is like our first podcast, or like our first proper podcast. No, it's not our first proper podcast of the year because we've done a New Japan one. I don't know what I'm chatting about. But anyway, it's the first one for a while. Yeah, it's first Recent Developments of the year. I'm
Always
well
nice.
excited.
Always nice
It is a bumper issue. Not only do we have the NXT End of Year Awards for 2018, I'm going to wrap that up. Before we can move on to NXT let me correct myself there, because that is NXT UK TakeOver Blackpool, which was fucking amazing, and of course last night's NXT TakeOver Pheonix. Bumper fucking show.
Lots to get through.
Lots to get through. Let's get going. So we're going to kick things off with the NXT 2018 End of Year Awards. So we're going to go through each category, nomination by nomination, and then we'll say the winner and give our thoughts on blah 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 blah. So the first one, possibly the hardest of the year, hardest category, which is TakeOver of the year. The nominations: Philadelphia, New Orleans, Chicago 2, Brooklyn 4, and War Games 2. The winner is New Orleans, rightfully so. Although Philadelphia was also amazing.
Yeah, I mean,
I think out of all of them, I did like Philly and New Orleans were the two standouts.
Philadelphia had my favourite match of all time.
Yeah, Gargano. Amazing. Amazing. First one of the year. Fuck it.
But yeah, it was apart from that, it was a good takeover. But it wasn't a great takeover aside from that match, I thought. New Orleans was stunning.
I don't know, because Philadelphia had the Adam Cole versus Aleister Black, which was a brilliant match.
That was a good match. I'd forgotten about that.
Well, that one. And who did Dream facing?
Was it Cassius
Let me
Ohno?
check my notes here.
That wasn't great.
No, if it was Cassius, it was Cassius. That's why. AOP, Fish and O'Reilly, and Shayna versus Ember Moon.
Didn't mind the AOP match.
Whereas, and New Orleans, to kick things off, had the North American title belt in the ladder match.
Yeah.
Ember Moon versus Shayna, which Shayna won it. Then it was AOP, Pete Dunne and Roderick Strong again, and Undisputed Era. Which was the Dusty, and it was the Dusty Classic, which is where Roddy turned, which was brilliant.
Yeah.
Aleister Black versus Andrade Almas.
Good match. Which
was very, very good. Literally in my notes it has insane match. That's the one where Aleister Black won the title as well.
Yeah.
And Johnny Gargano beating Tommaso Ciampa for the first time as well.
Yeah. New Orleans deserved to win.
New Orleans absolutely deserved to win. But
you can't beat that feel-good moment.
No, yeah, absolutely. That was, and it was like one of the first ones in a long time where there wasn't a logo fake out as well, so that kind of added to it, and that was really cool. So yes, New Orleans, deserved winner. Next up we're just reading these off a website, by the way, so this is just the order that the website's put them in. Is NXT Female Competitor of the Year. Nominations were Shayna Baszler, Ember Moon, Nikki Cross, Kairi Sane, and Bianca Belair. And Kairi Sane took it home. You're not happy about this, are you?
I'm not happy about this, and I'll tell you why I'm not happy about this. Shayna Baszler has had a fantastic year. She is the first ever two-time NXT Women's Champion. She's barely been beaten all year. She's dominated the entire women's roster. Kairi Sane has screeched and spun a wheel and lost the title. Why is she female competitor of the year and overarching?
Yeah, overall.
Why is she overall competitor of the year? She's had a terrible year.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, like, it's a fun vote, isn't it?
It's weebs.
It's fun vote. Oh, it's the weebs.
It's the weebs.
Yeah.
That's my opinion. I think it's the weebs. I think it's, she's a cute pirate princess, let's give it a vote. Yeah. But that's fair.
Brian Alvarez of the Wrestling Observer newsletter radio tweeted that from his immediate family members aside, Kairi Sane is the cutest person he's ever seen in his life.
Well, that's up to him, but I personally think the year-end awards should be for the best.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I guess it's competitor. It's not. They don't specifically say, "Oh my God, it's best." You know, I don't know. She's not. I would agree with you. I don't think she has had the greatest of years, and Shayna, without a doubt, has had a better year. I'd have given it to Shayna, but then it's a fan vote anyway.
It's up to the fans. You can't blame NXT brass for it. It's up to who votes.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it may be a testament to how great Shayna is as a heel that no one wanted to vote for.
Yeah, very true. Which is interesting given this next category, which is NXT Male Competitor of the Year. Nominations were Johnny Gargano, Ricochet, Tommaso Ciampa, Andrade. It's got CN Almas with a line through it on this page. Actually taking the time to just write Andrade CN Almas and put a line through CN Almas, and that makes me sad. Aleister Black, Adam Cole, Pete Dunne, and Velveteen Dream. As much as I love Velveteen Dream and I love Pete Dunne, Tommaso Ciampa did win this one, which is interesting. But on the base grounds of what should have gone for the female competitors,
this is
correct, because
Tommaso
Ciampa's had a belting
year. He's had a brilliant year. He won the NXT Championship from Aleister Black.
Yeah.
With the help of Johnny Gargano. He had an incredible feud, and is still having an incredible feud of sorts with Gargano. He's been one of the best heels on the entire WWE roster this past year, and he's had one of the longest NXT title reigns of all time.
Without doubt. I think my favourite thing about Ciampa is that he knows how to piss off the fans who want to like him.
Yeah.
And everybody else will fall in line and hate him and whatever, but he knows how to piss off the marks, and that is something that's beautiful in today's society. Absolutely. And there's only a certain number of people, I think, that do that really, really well. Especially when he started calling himself the greatest sports entertainer of all time. You just know that's going to get under the skin of so many people who are like, oh, fuck sports entertainment, we want wrestling, we want pro wrestling. It's like, that is genius. That is so clever. And all the other little things that he's done, like not releasing his t-shirt and stuff like that, are fantastic.
I love that.
And on top of everything, he's got a shit theme as well, so well done.
I'm gutted that they gave him that theme.
It's the right idea, because you can't give him a belting theme, because everyone's like, oh, it's got a good theme though, doesn't it?
Nah, but he did have a good theme, it was the crowd booing. That was
that's true. But I guess there's only so much you can go along with.
I suppose it's nipping it in the bud, because the fans are only going to boo him for so long.
With that, yeah. Unless you ramp up the heat more and more.
Exactly. But there's going to come a time where they won't boo him as much and it won't be as effective.
Yeah, exactly.
So maybe it's a good idea.
Yeah, absolutely. Next up was overall NXT Competitor of the Year, which we've touched on. Kairi Sane won it. Everybody else who we've just mentioned was also nominated for it. And so Kairi Sane takes home the double. We've made our feelings known on this one. I'm gonna move on.
Much as Kairi's great, and I've changed my opinion of her somewhat. I never used to be. When she first got signed, I was quite excited. Then I saw her wrestle the WWE style. Wasn't a fan. Saw her on a few takeovers, and she changed my mind. And I got a lot of respect for Kairi. I just don't think she deserved to win it.
To win it this year, no, absolutely not. She's got
fantastic competitor.
We'll see.
Not competitive.
We shall see. I reckon she'll be in Women's Royal Rumble.
Do you reckon
later on tonight?
Possibly so.
I mean, you've won two things like that. She's got the eyes on her, and there's only 20 women that have been officially announced. So, and that leaves quite a lot, which I'm quite glad about, because it's 20 official women's roster members now, and that's I think last year there was something like 15 to 17
a lot of it
surprise
was outside.
entrants. It's fair enough. It's the first ever one, and you want to and all the women that came before them, you've got to pay that homage, and you've got to give them that honour and that and the respect of being able to be involved in something that big. So now this year it is a lot more like, okay, now this is going to be like a proper Royal Rumble.
The stars of today.
Without doubt, and moving forward as it is. But anyway, on to NXT Tag Team of the Year award. Nominations were Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch, War Raiders, Mustache Mountain, Street Profits, Undisputed Era, and Heavy Machinery, with Undisputed Era taking it. Absolutely deserved it. They've won the Dusty Classic. They've held the tag titles for the majority of the year. Absolutely deserve this.
There was no competition.
No, without doubt.
There's some great tag teams in NXT. It's just a shame, in a way, that they get overshadowed by UE. But if the era keep being this good, why not let them? This was inevitable, I think.
Yeah, without doubt. They've just been absolutely dominant this year, and I think the amount of star power that they've got, I know we bash Roderick Strong a lot, but he is quite liked.
I bash Roderick Strong a lot.
And you've turned me over to it as well, to be fair, because I can't really. It's like, okay.
I've mellowed to him since he's been with.
It's like you've come down a bit and I've gone up a bit.
Yeah,
it's like we're almost at the same level here.
It was. I didn't like Roddy as a face.
Yeah, I think as a heel, he's very nice as a heel. Did I ever tell you I met him?
No?
Did I not? Have I never told you that? Yeah, he was at an Infinite show once.
Was he really?
And yeah, so I was. He was on the same show as Chris Masters. They both rocked up at the same time and was just like, oh, yeah, hey guys, shook hands. I think I was doing camera crew for the night, but I went over to check at the sound desk to check if everything was there, and he was there checking his music. And so I shook his hand and was like, yeah, how's it going? He's a nice enough fella.
Yeah, he seems like a really nice dude.
Yeah.
But he's too nice.
Too nice for a face. Yeah, no, yeah, he's a nice guy. I can't believe I never told you that story.
No, I can't.
But there we go.
Did you say, hey, my mate hates you?
What, in 2012? Or whenever it was, 2014, I think
You should have had the foresight to know.
Yeah, 2014, that was, I think. Or maybe... when did I start training? Yeah, it would have been 2014. Mental. Mad times. Anyway, moving on. Undisputed Era absolutely deserved it. Moving on to NXT Breakout Star of the Year. Nominations are Bianca Belair, Lacey Evans, Rhea Ripley, Bay, Dakota Kai, Ricochet, War Raiders, Lars Sullivan, and EC3 with Ricochet taking it home.
They had to be.
Yeah, without doubt, he's brilliant. And has absolutely come into his own on NXT, continues to just... I love... I'll get onto this later when we're talking about TakeOver, but I just love how effortless he just does everything.
Yeah.
Absolutely
So
effortless.
fluid.
And I guess also, and the way he's adapted to the bigger ring as well, because I've heard a lot of people say that's, especially some of the NXT UK guys say, it's a bigger ring, we're still trying to find our feet in it. So used to adapting, especially when you're running the ropes, it takes an extra step before you hit them and stuff like that, which can sometimes mess up timings and stuff. But yeah, he's just adapted to it so well and has absolutely smashed it. I don't
Won
really
the North
think
American title.
Yeah, has had a brilliant matches. Was part of that ladder match at New Orleans, and yeah, absolutely rocked. And had a brilliant match with Velveteen Dream at TakeOver as well.
I will say this was a category that had a lot of stack potential though.
Yeah, Bianca Belair, Rhea
She
Ripley,
took
War Raiders, Lars Sullivan. They're for me the standouts. I personally, I've made it known I'm not a big fan of EC3. Dakota Kai, I've not seen too much of.
Love Dakota Kai, she's brilliant.
I mean, yeah, no, she's a fantastic competitor, but in terms of a breakout,
Exactly.
she's not quite had that yet.
If you look at in terms of success and in terms of accomplishment and how dominant they've been, I think the only two people that really could have, well, the only three people that could have took this is Bianca, Ricochet, and Lars.
Yeah.
Lars obviously hasn't had the same, accomplishments as Ricochet, but he's steamrolled the roster.
Yeah.
So it could have gone to either of those three.
Without doubt, but yeah, as we said, Ricochet with winning the North American title and having a boss match with
anyone, really.
Yeah, with everyone he's had. He has not had. I don't think I've ever seen a bad Ricochet match yet, which I'll come on to later as well.
I think it's a bit of a shame how EC3 wasn't really in contention for this. EC3 kind of came and went as far as NXT is concerned. He was one of the big hyped signings, and
I think it alludes to the star power that roster's got at the moment.
Absolutely.
Which again
He
didn't come
didn't do
on to
anything.
later. He didn't because there's no room for him.
No.
Absolutely no. Even with a brand new title in the mix, there was no room for him in that locker room.
The thing I remember most from his
also
NXT
he's been in WWE before as well, so
yeah.
He's pretty well known, I guess, because of Impact. So
the thing I remember most from his NXT run was in the 6-man, where he did the EC3 baby thing.
Yeah, that was it.
That's
and
all I remember.
That wasn't even his spot either.
Exactly.
So
and it's a shame, but I hope he does well on the main roster.
yeah, let's hope they give him
Fingers
something.
crossed for him.
Let's hope they give him something. Next up was the Future Star of NXT award. This is a bit of a bollocks award, really.
Do you reckon?
I'm not gonna lie. This is just pinning your hopes and dreams on us. It's you know what? Here's more pressure. Go and do well.
Do you remember who won last year?
Who?
Caesar Bononi.
Exactly. Oh yeah, he did. Didn't he?
Where
We
is he?
popped. No one knows. No one knows. Yes, he's the only one last year because remember we popped for it.
I haven't seen who won this one.
So nominations were Matt Riddle, Keith Lee, Mia Yim, Forgotten Sons, Dominic Jankovic, Io Shirai, Candice LeRae, Jessim Duke, and Marina Shafir, and Kona Reeves. Who do you think won?
Out of those, I'll probably say Riddle.
Io Shirai.
No, that makes sense.
Yeah, she is definitely the future of women's division, and I think he's probably the only person who can take that title from Shayna.
I would agree. But I would have had someone different in that category. Fabian Eichner.
I think because he's moved over to NXT UK now, that I think we'd have to wait to see. And he's sort of made that transition with Michelle, but
I don't know. He's still appearing on NXT.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But
the weekly show this past week. I don't know. Have you seen it?
No,
this
not
past
yet.
week. The opening tag match
Yeah.
was Fabian Eichner and Bartel against. Who were they against? Well, my mind's just gone completely blank.
Not lol.
But they're against someone.
Good match anyway.
Fantastic match. Eichner is money. He is the
Fair.
future of NXT, NXT UK, any division he's in. He moves like a cruiserweight and he hits like a heavyweight. He's unbelievable.
Nice. Okay, this is so Io Shirai to take home the win in Future Star NXT Award. Matt Riddle, Keith Lee could easily have won that. Matt Riddle's going to be huge.
Absolutely.
I really like Matt Riddle because he comes out, he's like happy baby. He's got that Kurt Angle vibe to him where he can be, but he's got both sides of Kurt Angle in one. He's got the goofy, laid back side of Kurt Angle, and then he's also got the submission machine, I'm gonna kill you style but in the same friggin' match, and it's amazing.
He's one of these people who can be a classic white meat coming out smiling babyface, and everyone's still gonna love him, and it's never gonna look fake because everyone knows that is what he's genuinely like.
Yeah. And and true, and he's like that backstage, and because of his UFC background as well, people just know, okay, he's a hard bastard.
Yeah,
so,
he can smile and still look hard because it's Matt Riddle.
Yeah, absolutely. Next up is the NXT Match of the Year award. I mean, we know who's won this, but we're going to go through the one.
It was tough.
So the nominations are, and there's a lot here. So
strap yourselves in.
Undisputed Era versus War Raiders and Ricochet at TakeOver War Games 2. That should also be Pete Dunne in that as well.
Yeah, it should.
Bastards. How dare you? Pete Dunne was the one who won the fucking match. Bellends, who's I don't even know what. Oh, on cageseats.com. Shame on you. Boo, it's boo.
But thank you for the source for the rest of the stuff.
Yeah, totally. Couldn't have got this. Could have gone to Cultaholic and got this, but there we go. Johnny Gargano versus Andrade Cien Almas. Mustache Mountain versus Mustache Mountain versus Undisputed Era. That was on NXT TV.
Yeah, free TV.
Very nice. Yeah, a lot of these were. Johnny Gargano versus Tommaso Ciampa at TakeOver New Orleans.
I thought that I was going to win. I really did.
Really?
Yeah, I really did.
EC3 versus Lars Sullivan versus Ricochet versus Adam Cole versus Velveteen Dream versus Killian Dane. NXT North American Championship ladder match at TakeOver New Orleans. Kairi Sane versus Shayna Baszler at TakeOver Brooklyn 4. Ricochet versus Velveteen Dream TakeOver Chicago. Aleister Black versus Tommaso Ciampa NXT Championship match on NXT TV. Pete Dunne versus Pete Dunne versus Zach Gibson UK Championship match NXT TV. Aleister Black versus Adam Cole Extreme Rules match TakeOver Philadelphia. Pete Dunne versus Kyle O'Reilly UK Championship match NXT TV. Danny Burch versus Oney Lorcan versus Undisputed Era TakeOver Chicago, brilliant match. Nikki Cross versus Bianca Belair NXT TV. Ricochet versus Pete Dunne North American Championship versus UK Championship match NXT TV. Ricochet versus Pete Dunne versus Adam Cole for the NXT North American Championship match, triple threat match NXT TV, and of course the winner is Gargano versus Almas. Of course it is.
Of course it was.
There was no denying.
Well,
it was
I mean,
so good.
I didn't realise how widely well regarded this match was, because you know my feelings on it.
Yeah.
It's my favourite match of all time. I say it on pretty much every podcast where we bring up favourite matches. I didn't realise that. I thought this was me saying, "Oh my god, I love this match," but apparently, it's a
very
regarded.
good. No, I think because at that point it was the first 5-star match WWE had since Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
Everyone went, whoa, okay. And I know we go on about Meltzer's ratings all the time and stuff like that, but it was, and people say, oh, you don't have to go on, it's just one guy's opinion, but at the same time, everyone says that, but everyone still goes off them, so it's because they're a good measuring stick, the guy knows what he's on about, so you may as well kind of just take a little bit of notice to it, you know what I mean?
I do like the theory that Meltzer's rating system has always been out of 10 and he just really hates wrestling.
May very well be. But yeah, so without a shadow of a doubt, Johnny Gargano versus Andrade Cien Almas, NXT TakeOver Philadelphia for the NXT Championship is NXT Match of the Year.
I think this could have gone to 3 of them.
Yeah.
I think could have gone to Gargano Almas,
Yeah.
Gargano Ciampa,
Yeah.
or the 6-man.
Yeah, the ladder match was brilliant. That's probably the best ladder match I've seen since X7. I think that was probably...
Really?
I think so.
And I know you like your ladder
I
matches.
love ladder matches. And I think... I don't know, maybe one of the Money in the Bank matches. I think 23 was a good one.
22 had a really good one.
22 was good.
I
And the original was also very good. 21. But no, I think this is up there with some of the best.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Really
This is up there. I think that may have to be squeezed into my top 10 somewhere. I'm going to have to reevaluate. Anyway, final award, NXT Rivalry of the Year. So we had Ricochet versus Velveteen Dream, Ember Moon versus Shayna Baszler, Mustache Mountain. There he is again. Mustache. What is wrong with me? Mustache Mountain versus Undisputed Era, Johnny Gargano versus Andrade Cien Almas, Aleister Black, Johnny Gargano, Tommaso Ciampa, Nikki Cross. Okay, all four of them in one.
Yeah, Nikki Cross.
Yeah, Nikki Cross lobbed in there. Kairi Sane versus Shayna Baszler, and of course the winner, because what else was it gonna be? Gargano versus Ciampa. One of the best pieces of storytelling ever. But we will come on to that. I think that's a nice way to bookend this podcast. We'll be leaving that a bit open and talking about it at the end.
There was really no competition.
There wasn't really, was there? So we'll talk more about that at the end because it's very poignant.
But while we're on the topic of year-end awards,
Yeah.
and while we just mentioned Johnny Gargano lots of times,
Yeah.
Johnny Gargano has broke a couple of records.
Oh, has he?
He has.
Oh, go on.
He has the most nominations
Wow. Okay.
overall,
Okay.
with 14.
Bloody hell.
He also co-holds the record for most nominations for Match of the Year with Finn Balor,
Wow.
and he's got the most wins for Match of the Year at 2, because he won last year's as well.
Wow.
Aleister Black, Asuka, Johnny Gargano, and Ciampa have won the most NXT year-end awards in total, with 3 each.
Wow.
And Aleister Black won the most wins in a single year with 3 in 2017.
With 317.
So Aleister Black's been doing alright as well.
Yeah, absolutely. He's going to make a... Mind you, he was out injured, wasn't he? So I guess this year be a big return for him. But
if you want to go all time in terms of the NXT year-end awards,
Yeah.
because they've been going since 2015, and Asuka has been nominated 3 times for overall competitor of the year.
Wow. Is that the record?
That's the record.
Oh yeah. Well, she was in NXT for ages, wasn't she?
She was, and she was very, very good.
Well, yeah, undefeated.
And another record
Exactly.
that's been broken this year is by Ricochet. Good for Ricochet. He's
Yeah.
got the most nominations in a single year,
Oh wow.
which was this year,
Yeah.
and he was nominated in 8 categories.
Bloody hell. That's pretty good. That's. I mean.
Well, not in 8 categories, but 8 nominations.
Oh, okay. In eight different. Yeah. Fair play.
He's done very, very well for himself this year.
Absolutely. So yeah, big congratulations to all you guys who won. I didn't cast a single vote because I refused to tweet on behalf of WWE and give them free advertising.
Fair enough.
False to that, give me a fucking poll back and I'll happily vote. I will not give you free advertising, you bastards. So moving swiftly
Tell
on.
us how you really feel.
Moving swiftly on. No, I can't speak bad about WWE because they're giving us NXT and especially they've given us NXT UK and they've given us the first takeover. They gave us Blackpool, which we watched as always in my living room, and we had a jolly good time. This was so much fun. So let's go back and relive it. So my first note is I have goosebumps already. It's not even started. It was opening package. I was so excited for this. It's like we've not made it. I haven't made it any secret that I absolutely adore and love British wrestling at the moment, and to see this sort of happen, and it's only going to get better. And it was a momentous night. It was boss. I was going to say momentum changing, but it's momentous.
Absolutely.
Works better. So kicking things off with the matchup to crown the first ever NXT UK Tag Team Champions, Mustache Mountain against Grizzled Young Veterans, as they're now actually calling them, James Drake and Zach Gibson. Also my trainers. I train with them.
Just so you know.
I'm just going to drop that maybe 1 or 2 times during this podcast.
Liverpool's #1.
Absolutely.
#1 Zach Gibson.
All Liverpool. So Mustache Mountain came out in British Bulldog inspired attire. It was lovely to see. It was really cool.
When you guys were watching this, I missed this.
Yes,
I
I
turned up late.
Yeah, Croft showed up
because
late.
I'm
You're
a bastard.
dickhead.
But I've gone back and watched it since,
Mhm.
and I would agree that this was match of the night.
This was amazing. This was just unbelievable. And then, so I'm just going to go through my notes. I loved that Nigel referenced the Progress titles. Gives Progress a lot of legitimacy on the UK scene. Like they need it. They are the biggest English company.
It's nice to see.
Going. Without a doubt, it is nice to see. They are lovely looking titles.
They're very nice
titles. I have something else to say on the titles in just a sec. I'm going to get this out now. Blackpool crowd was awesome.
Yeah.
All night long. Like, that was a top tier British level crowd.
Absolutely.
It was phenomenal.
Something I love whenever there's a UK event, there's Facebook groups that I'm in.
Yeah.
Around WWE. Usually shitposting groups. And I just love seeing Americans watch UK shows because they go, what's the crowd doing? Why are they doing this? It's like, because they're having fun.
Yeah.
That's something that you guys, a lot of you guys, when you go and see a WWE show, don't do.
Yeah, you don't even try and enjoy yourself. It's just
more
you go
focused
to
on getting themselves over than the talent.
Exactly.
And that was the major difference. I'm
Without-
not shitting on American crowds, by the way, whatsoever. But I think it just shows the difference between how crowds approach shows over here and in the US.
Without a doubt. There was a lovely Russ Abbott spot from Tyler on James Drake, which is a succession of moves, and I saw a lad in one of the training gyms I go, and he sort of does it, and it's a very old, I think Johnny Saint used to do it quite a lot in his matches, and it's a very quick succession of moves of all of all spinning around, and ducking under legs, and you can go spinning and stuff, and so I clocked it straight away. I was like, I know that, and it was very nice. So the first thing of the match, there was some really nice match stuff between Zach and Tyler to begin with, and then it started to build a bit. Tyler hit an aeroplane spin with both James and Zach on his shoulders. Big strong boy indeed.
Big strong boy.
Oh my god, what a
love
lad!
that, man.
What a lad! Then there was Mustache Mountain hit a running power slam. A running pile driver? How's that work?
I'd like to see that.
How does that work?
I don't know how it would work, but I'd love to see it.
Jesus. Running power slam and a headbutt, which was the classic British Bulldogs thing, which was really, really cool. Suicide dive, Doomsday device to the outside, which essentially took Tyler Bate out of the match.
It was awesome.
Brilliant, and it was really nice that it was off the rollout for the 7 stars as well. He ducked it, went straight through the ropes as well. It was really, really, really cool. Trent Seven had his head split open in this as well. I think James Drake hit a nasty elbow and just caught him wrong. Yeah. But blood adds to it.
It makes them look a bit more like they want.
At least they didn't stop it. I think the UK crowd would actually have massacred them had they stopped this match for blood.
Yeah. I'd be inclined to agree, especially because it was the first match.
Yeah, exactly. You can't just kill momentum like that.
And fair play for Trent Seven carrying on.
Yeah, it just kept going. Absolute dawn.
Absolute consummate professional.
Absolutely. And Grizzled Young Veterans picked up the win.
Didn't expect it.
I did. I was wanting
Obviously
it.
You rooted
I
for it.
predicted it. And I was, and then it was to see, especially like Zach. I made known I trained with Zach back in 2014. When this was his main goal in life was to wrestle for WWE, and to see him to become the first ever NXT UK champion is really surreal.
No, it's
really
really good for Zach. He deserves it, and James Drake.
Yeah, absolutely, James as well. Phenomenal worker.
All I was going off was how hot WWE are on Mustache Mountain. But it was really cool to see them put the faith in Grizzly Young Vets.
This the thing is with Mustache Mountain are that popular anyway. They don't need the belts.
Absolutely.
And I think if you had put it on them, you then would have probably had to take the belt off Pete Dunne because then it's just a British strong style already. And you don't want to pull the trigger on that. You may as well wait a bit, turn the whole faction heel, and have them run riot and kind of do an Undisputed Era thing in thinking, then have them clash. I don't know. That's a pitch for later on down the line.
Bide our time, see what happens.
So Grizzled Young Veterans, the first ever NXT UK Tag Champions. I went to the training session the Thursday after they'd won the belts, and they brought them.
Oh, That's cool.
So they brought the belts to training. There is a picture of me. I'll splice it in on the screen right now. There is a picture of me just in the little corner because it was only my second ever training session down at the Fighting Spirit gym in McGull. So I was like, oh, I don't want to be front and centre. I'll just go and stand in the ring. I am wearing my official wrestling t-shirt as well.
Lovely stuff.
So cheeky plug with the NXT UK belts. But another thing that like kind of just sort of sums up how important this was to Zach is like somebody asked him about the side plates on the belt. I was like, you guys going to get your own side plates? And Zach was like, well, I don't really want to because they've got the big WWE logos on them.
Oh.
And otherwise you have to squint to see it in the middle of the belt. I was just like, oh man. And so it was surreal. It was really, and it's just really, really cool to see those guys put on an amazing match first and foremost, and also become first ever NXT UK champions. So the night was off to a flying start. And fucking then... So the next match was Travis Banks versus Jordan Devlin, the old Pez dispenser.
NXT's resident Pez dispenser.
No, I like that.
Pez.
You get that? Do you want to try that again?
NXT UK's resident Pez dispenser.
There we go. So Travis Banks jump starts Jordan Devlin, dives out the ring, but instantly injures his knee, which had been injured earlier in the day. And my note was, oh well, looks like this match isn't happening. And then Johnny Saint and Sid. It's like, isn't that the name of the... Oh no, Scud was the name of Sid's dog from Toy Story, wasn't it? But it's essentially what he is.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Pretty much. It's like some friggin' puppet.
Who is he?
I don't know.
He just turned up.
He's just Johnny Saint's...
Go a
he's
job,
Johnny
please.
Saint's Mike guy, isn't he? I don't know. But yes, it's like, no, we thought this might happen. We've got a plan. Lights go down. I'm like, nah.
Interestingly, it's because Devlin had just said he was the greatest Irish wrestler of all time.
And we were all like, oh,
so
okay.
obviously, I was expecting Sheamus.
Of course you were.
It wasn't to be.
So, you think. So the lights go down, and then it's like, everyone's like, nah. Then the lights and the smoke go off. Everyone's like, nah. And then you just get this... It's like, my note is literally, it's fucking Finn Bloody Balor. Is the note I have.
I can confirm that
Unbelievable marking.
Kieran also did mark. And also said those exact words.
Oh, it was unreal.
Kieran's happy with this.
I was so happy. This was just really fucking cool.
And it was a great match.
Yeah, it really, really was. I was really happy it wasn't a squash as what we maybe thought it was going to be. Because Finn's been a Universal Champion. But obviously because of the alluding to the history, like Finn trained Jordan and stuff like that, and they were shouting at it about through the match and stuff. So obviously he's going to know him a bit better and he's going to know how to counter him. But yeah, this match was just incredible.
And we've added Jordan Devlin to the list of people that doesn't suit white trunks.
No, he doesn't. Sorry, Jordan. You suit red trunks, mate.
Absolutely.
Suit red
it's
trunks.
nothing personal, Jordan. No one does.
No, unless you've got a certain skin tone.
Yeah, absolutely. Booker T did.
Yeah, and so did Alberto Del Rio.
Yeah, that's all we're saying.
That's all we're saying. But pretty sure we made that joke on a New Japan.
I think we did.
New Japan podcast as well. Yeah. Anyway, this is brilliant. But it was really cool as well having seen Jordan Devlin just vacate the TNT World Title belt, who are our local promotion in Liverpool, who I also commentate for. Just going to drop more bombs.
Little plug there.
We should put like how many things like
how many shameless plugs?
Shameless plugs and me name dropping people
that
I know or have ring announced in the industry.
Did you know I met Baba Thunder outside the back of a B&Q once? Oh, did you, mate? Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Didn't you go to Nando's with Sheamus once?
I did, yeah. Not bad. And the chicken was very tasty.
Brilliant. Moving on. No. So having seen Jordan Devlin it was cool to see him on TakeOver. It would have been really cool to see Travis Banks, who I may have mentioned this before as well, but I was, again, name drop, but I was, counter.
We're up to about 4 now, surely.
But, I was I may have mentioned this before, and I won't mention it again after this, but I was the first person to ring announce Travis Banks when he first got to the UK.
I remember you telling me that.
So I have said this before.
Hold him to that. He said he's never going to mention it ever
Yeah,
again.
I'm not going to mention that again.
Podcast,
whenever Travis Banks gets mentioned from now on, I will not mention that. So
we're not going to bring it up, but if you are a loyal viewer of A Few Good Marks and you ever hear Kieran bring it up again, make sure to comment in the comments something about Travis Banks.
Call me out. But so this was really, really cool to see this happen, and the crowd reaction was fucking amazing.
Yeah.
And you just see I don't think that the actual takeover footage does it justice. You really have to seek out fan reaction videos from the actual takeover in Blackpool to hear how loud that crowd was. Fucking brilliant.
Really smart move bringing him out.
Yeah, without doubt. Next up was Finn Balor went over, obviously.
Of course he did.
Just throw that one in there. So next up was Eddie Dennis against Dave Mastiff in a no disqualification match. Eddie Dennis has amazing strength. I met him last night, actually. He was on a show I was on.
Oh, was he? Yeah.
Yeah, he was on a show I was on. I can't help it.
There's no care. There's ring announcing and commentary.
He was press starting for BWP last night.
How was he? Was he a nice
He was a very nice man.
He seems it.
Very lovely guy, great worker, and is a fucking mountain of a man.
Yeah,
He's
absolutely.
huge.
Tell you who's bigger.
Well, the other thing is though, is that he's that big, right? So he's probably, how big are you? You're
6'2".
6'2", so he is probably 6'4".
Yeah.
He used to be a head teacher.
Oh man.
Can you imagine being
Eddie
called
Dennis.
in Eddie Dennis? You imagine the promo that he cut at the beginning, just what the fuck is this? Why are you doing your bloody homework?
Smashes you over the head with a lantern.
So you knew detention! Sorry, I just murdered a Welsh accent there, but there we go.
It was a better one than I could have done.
So he hit a sidewalk slam. So was it? It's not a sidewalk slam, really, is it? I was trying to figure out what the move that, because it's a sort of a swinging sidewalk slam, isn't it? Bossman used to do one.
Yeah, it's just Bossman Slam, wasn't it?
Bossman
Slam,
slam,
basically.
yeah. Onto the steps, which was fucking hell.
I just want to say a quick shout out to Dave Mastiff.
Yeah.
Who I adore.
He's just a bae.
Dave Mastiff's my favourite member of the UK roster.
Nice.
I love him to bits. I love a big fella.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I'm pretty sure Willow would love Mastiff as well.
Absolutely. The Vader inspired gear is a fantastic touch.
Yeah.
He moves like a man half his size.
Yeah.
And he's got the strength to back it up.
I tweeted this.
Big up,
I
Mastiff.
tweeted this last night actually after watching the War Raiders match that I would love to see a match between the War Raiders taking on the team of Killian Dane and Dave Mastiff.
I would love that.
Can you imagine just 4 absolute hosses who move like cruiserweights?
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Smash it
There was
into
one
each
bit where he did a bounce on the second rope, brought his legs over onto the top rope, and then moonsaulted off it. It's fucking hell, mate. Give the rest of us a chance.
It's unbelievable.
Brilliant. Absolutely phenomenal. And yeah, so then the steamroller onto the wooden floor. Exposed wooden flooring, solid ballroom floor of the Empress Ballroom. Bloody hell. And then cannonball through the table.
It was awesome.
This match was just so fun to watch.
I
It was
love
it was a nice little break, but it was still kept the energy way up there. It was brilliant. Solid middle of the match, mid match of the card.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a really good spot on the card. It kept things fresh, kept things fun, kept the crowd invested, which is what every show needs.
Yeah, without doubt.
Every show can benefit from an ODQ match right in the middle.
Yeah, and it had a really nice story building into it as well,
Yeah,
with
absolutely.
Eddie Dennis attacking Mastiff and Mastiff being the first one to cost him. It's simple storytelling. It's all you need. Jinx. Moving on. Toni Storm against Rhea Ripley for the NXT UK Women's Championship. Absolute bae Rhea Ripley. Oh my god, I'm in love. I'm actually in love with Rhea Ripley.
I know.
It's a problem. I'm
It's
actually in love with her. I'm actually in love with her. You know my love for Velveteen Dream?
Yeah.
It's on that level, if not above, because she's actually female.
Yeah, it's above.
She's off.
If I know you, it's
She's a
above.
mosh kid and she fucking loves football and she's my age. And she's a wrestler. More to want in a woman.
There you go.
I really hope she doesn't listen to this because I may have just it's just oh, you're that kid who marked out over me, aren't you? Yeah, it's nice knowing you. Bye.
Yeah, this was, and she. Speaking of the fact she's a wrestler, she's a dead good wrestler.
She's brilliant. She's
this
something
match
that's
was great.
she's so different as well. She's so more powerful than most of the other women's wrestlers as well.
It's really cool that they turned a heel.
Yeah.
I'm glad they didn't keep her as the on a way good time
Aussie.
face.
Yay.
She's much better as a heel.
Yeah, without
she's
doubt.
really come into her own.
And she's got the Pete Dunne smirk down to a T.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's really, and she just shrugs it off. It's like you've got two like pretty much like comparison side by side champions, and it works really well. It's quite nice. But yeah, this was a fantastic match. It was really good.
It was about time for Tony to win the title.
Yeah, absolutely. After coming so close to winning the Mae Young Classic first time round, then finally winning it, and she had the opportunity to challenge for any belt at all, and has come back to NXT UK to challenge for this belt, and it's like, and that like, and I know that's within kayfabe, but that does make you warm to a character.
Absolutely.
And it's like, yeah, absolutely, that's our champion now. That's someone who everyone in the UK should take that sentiment to heart. Like, obviously it's kayfabe because they were always going to keep running, but take that sentiment to heart. You know what I mean? Like, without a doubt, that's
it makes
really
it a serious
cool.
championship.
Yeah, without a doubt, really cool. Yeah, and absolutely just Rhea Ripley one more time. Just gonna sploosh.
Spaff that one.
Sploosh. On to the main event of the evening. Joe Coffey against Pete Dunne for the NXT UK Championship. Lovely Regal-inspired gear from Pete Dunne.
Oh, absolutely.
I called it before. I think he had a chance to say it on comms as well. We've discovered I have a history of this. When we're watching something live, I will call something before the commentator gets there.
It's always Nigel McGuinness as well.
It's Nigel and Mike Tenay, the two that I got. And I'm pretty sure I do it on the latest Pipes and Pal Drives episode, which is out in a couple of weeks. I do it before King as well.
Yeah, you
I'm Mystic. It's like, I'm good at what I do. What can I say? What can I say?
Otis Dozovic's a big lad, isn't he? So, fucking Nigel going to Otis Dozovic's a real big lad. Kate, I don't know how you do it.
I'm just good at my job. Anyway, there was a really nice slam on the ramp from Coffey.
Love a good slam on the ramp.
Good slam on the ramp! It would kind of set the tone. Like, that was like the only really like spot that I caught from this, apart from the big botch at the end, which kind of took away from this match, unfortunately.
Unfortunately,
it's hard to know what they were going for, because they went up and they fell, but then they went straight back to it.
There's been rumours that it was going to be a top rope bitter end, and that was going to end the match.
Oh, wow.
But after they went to the well twice...
Yeah, they fell... I think there was... I've also heard something that they were supposed to topple, but they were supposed to get close to the guardrail, and that he was supposed to... that Joe Coffey's arm was supposed to land over the side of the guardrail, which then would have made the submission
yeah, that makes sense.
a bit more lethal. Because I've got like something I clocked while watching the opening video, again when I went back to rewatch it, is that because I will fess up to not have watched a lot of NXT UK TV, that Pete Dunne has been finishing matches with that submission.
Really?
So we were all giving it shit, but it is a genuine submission.
That's fair enough then.
Snap the fingers and then bend it back, with extreme torque, and like thinking obviously it's going to hurt.
When I first watched it, yeah, we were all dogging the finish to this. You're like, we've had a whole match for it to finish with like a move you do to your mate in year 3.
Yeah, a little bit.
But if it is genuinely any matches with it, completely different story.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just like, it's only in the opening video package very, very briefly a couple of times. It's just sort of thrown in there. So I could kind of see why we were all like, what's this, without having watched it in the past. But this was, I mean, you can't really take anything away. It was still a brilliant match. And what a way to cap off the first TakeOver. NXT UK TakeOver anyway. It was absolutely brilliant. And in true NXT tradition, logos went up. We're like, yeah, nice little finish, that's cool. I genuinely said, we're going to get... Oh, no, we're not, are we? Yeah, they're going to end. And then the fucking music starts, lights go down, it all kicks off, and fucking Walter walks out.
Out comes Water.
Water! Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. We knew, we all knew he'd signed a while back.
We just didn't know when.
Yeah, or when or where he was going to show up. But I'm so glad he stayed in the UK. He's got such a bigger fan base over here, and can continue to work for NXT, the UK Indies as well, for certain people. That's also something I think we should mention, is the NXT UK contract situation.
Yeah,
because this is recent development. Since this is the NXT podcast, and it's not really, we've not had a podcast since this is all broken, really. So, so basically, I mean, pretty sure everyone knows by now what's happened, but I'll just outline it anyway. Basically, a big crop of talent got signed to some brand new NXT UK contracts, bigger money, which meant more exclusivity to NXT UK, which then meant they couldn't work as many indie promotions as before. So ICW, Progress, and I think there's one other, OTT and WXW in Germany, I think, are still allowed to work with these guys every so often. But everyone kind of everyone went in two completely different ways. Everyone either went, oh my god, it's the end of the indies, or new guys, here's your chance to go and shine.
Yeah.
Personally, I'm on the latter of the two.
As am I.
I think there is so much talent going around the UK right now, and there's so much more to yet be undiscovered. And I don't think, and it won't be. It's gonna be now. It's like they've taken one big crop in. It's not like they're gonna do that again.
Exactly.
And just have a mass, have another sheaf and just woof wipe people up. They may take another 5 at a time, but then that's another 5 spaces for somebody else to come in and do it.
There's enough talent to fill the space.
The UK scene is rich enough at the moment, and we built up. There's something like freaking 120 odd promotions in the UK, which per square mile is more than the US, which tells you something. The US is a big fucking country, and we have more promotions per square mile than they do. So there's more than enough exposure for younger talent to go out there and make a name for themselves. And then there's there's opportunities all around the land. So it is what it is.
If you're a fan of WWE and NXT and you didn't see this coming, you were naive.
Oh, without a doubt. I don't see how people couldn't see this coming.
No.
It was a matter of time.
WWE like their exclusives. WWE have never been a company that have let talent go and wrestle elsewhere. The only time I can think of it happening was when they had the deal with Ric Flair and Christian with TNA.
Yeah.
That's the only time I can remember it happening.
Yeah.
WWE do not let it happen, so this was inevitable.
Yeah.
It's the right move. It makes NXT UK look more legitimate because, if you come in here, it's just the same as WWE. You're being paid more and you'll get the work. I don't see why people are having an issue with it. If the wrestlers involved sign the name at the bottom of the contract, they must be happy with it.
Without a doubt. And at the end of the day, you're providing safety for your family. So
yeah, absolutely.
You cannot
Good
argue
for them.
with that. And a lot, and I say a lot, all the people who've been signed have worked their absolute arses off to get those contracts and deserve them wholeheartedly. Anyway, let's move on to NXT TakeOver Pheonix, which happened last night. We're still buzzing off it. We haven't talked about it yet, so I'm so excited to get into this.
Me too.
So, let's kick things off with the NXT Tag Team Championship match. As always, kicking off the show, it was Undisputed Era defending against the War Raiders. That entrance was beautiful.
Unbelievable.
Fantastic.
And
Amazing. Phenomenal.
I think it's also worth saying the era is still immensely over.
Oh, without doubt.
They never won't be.
No.
Which, depending on your school of thought, is a good or a bad thing considering they're meant to be a heel team. I think it's great. Because in NXT, the fans can cheer for whoever they want.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, both really cool entrances, and it's nice to see tag teams starting the show again. I think it's a good move. It's always really exciting.
Yeah, I have 4 notes for this match, which was this match has been crazy. Or that mid-match, just could not keep up with it. Hansen doing mad shit, dive to the outside, cartwheels, handspring off the ropes.
Yeah.
Oh my actual god!
I think it was cool.
You probably got more notes on this than I have.
Yeah, I mean, I've read, within the first few minutes, I'd written Hansen is an absolute unit. Because he is.
Yeah, without doubt.
In awe at the size of that lad and what he can do. I also want to give a quick shout out to Roderick Strong, who got a massive pop for taking his shirt off.
Oh, okay.
Good for you, Roddy. Another thing that I want to talk about when it comes to the era is how great the chemistry between Strong and O'Reilly is. When they first started off as a tag team, it was born out of necessity because Bobby Fish was injured. This was someone that O'Reilly had worked with for years, and Strong came along as a placeholder till he was fitting well again. And now they've got excellent synergy as a tag team, and it's just been really nice to see the tag team develop. When I think of the era, I think of Strong and O'Reilly now. Not so much Fish and O'Reilly like I used to.
That's interesting.
Which I'm sure we'll see again at some point, but it's also nice to see Bobby Fish out on his own. So this was a really good display of how good they are.
Yeah, absolutely. And we have new NXT Tag Team Champions, the War Raiders, picking up the victory. That match was a bit good.
It was very, very good. I really didn't see the War Raiders winning. I know how hot they've been in NXT, but I know they've lost before as well.
Yeah.
It's not like Belair where I thought, okay, they've got a really good chance because they're undefeated.
Yeah.
I didn't expect them to win, but I was so glad.
I think I sneakily I was like, yeah, I'd take the War Raiders here. But yeah, I was very happy for them. Be interesting to see where Undisputed Era go next. Yeah, this was a very, very good match.
I think this was especially poignant because the claim made by Adam Cole was that the Era are going to hold all the belts this year.
Yeah.
And they kicked off the year by losing the only ones they had. Which is very interesting.
It is very interesting.
And I think it's a good thing to leave open for later.
Yeah, we shall see.
Before we get into the next match,
Go
I
on.
just want to say a quick note in general about the pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Which was X by Poppy was such a weird choice for the pay-per-view theme.
I wasn't really paying attention to the tune.
Have you heard it?
I've heard bits of it.
It's mental.
Okay.
It goes like, it starts off heavy.
Yeah.
And then turns into like the Beach Boys.
Okay.
And then goes a bit modern, and then goes heavy again.
Right.
And then the chorus is Beach Boys again.
Oh gosh.
I don't know if you know much about Poppy. She's been like a YouTube celebrity for years now. She's mad.
Okay.
Like, everyone's like, she's so weird. But she makes tunes as well now. And it's all an act to get an audience and that kind of thing. But apparently Triple H handpicked this as the pay-per-view theme. And I think we're living in a blessed timeline where Triple H listens to Poppy.
Nah, his daughter's defo gone.
Yeah, no.
Dad, you might like this. She's like, I'm gonna use that as a takeover pretty good.
It's not. Go and listen to it. If you guys haven't actually listened to X by Poppy, go and have a listen. And just let it sink in that was a takeover theme.
Handpicked by Triple H.
Handpicked by Triple H.
Oh dear. Moving on. Next matchup was Matt Riddle versus Cassius Ohno. This was like the third matchup.
This was the third, yeah.
Yeah,
Cassius
third
Ohno was 2-0 going into this.
And he's never won
Sorry,
at TakeOver.
Norton 2.
Norton 2 and is 0-7 at TakeOver.
Yeah.
And is now 0-8 because Matt Riddle did win this. But he bit his fucking toes, man.
It was mad.
Jimmy Havoc actually tweeted, it's like, if it works, it works. Because Jimmy Havoc has done that spot with Matt Riddle in the past. And so it's like, yeah, that's like, it was inevitable, duh.
Yeah.
And two, like, gross. So obviously it's going to get a reaction.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It was.
Minging.
I loved Ohno in this match. I love the angle that Ohno's got now.
Yeah.
I loved the.
He's just taking on this gatekeeper persona,
Yeah,
and I quite
absolutely.
like, and it's good because that's what he's probably gonna do forever now, really.
Yeah, I mean, he was quite right in when he had his second chance at NXT. There was so much buzz around him. First few weeks, everyone was like, "Yeah, Cassius Ohno's gonna be massive," and then he just petered out, and he's just been putting new guys over. And it really felt like he was seriously saying like,
It's a really good angle
what
for him.
happened. So it was cool. He was
angle.
desperate for a win. The right person won. They need to get Riddle over, and they've done it in a massive way.
Yeah.
But there was some really cool points in this match where Ohno showed his ring IQ and his experience, and it was done subtly. The part where he was on the apron and he pulled the apron over Riddle's face and then stamped on him, so he didn't know when it was coming. Things like that show how much of a ring general he is, and it helped to show the disparity between him and Riddle, who's only been pro wrestling for 4 years in comparison.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
really interesting, I thought.
But as we mentioned before when discussing the awards, I love his aggression, Matt Riddle, and his strength is brilliant as well.
Yeah.
Phenomenal. Yeah, really, really cool. So this was a decent match. Really decent.
I did want to say that Ohno was working super dangerously this match, and it concerned me because there was close-ups where you see him stamp on Riddle's face, and
But I think at the same time that yes, fair, but then Riddle's probably had worse.
he probably has. But I just think it was something to note because they showed close-ups of it afterwards, and you see him making full contact, and Riddle was bleeding afterwards, and it's
I think that adds to Riddle. I would personally think that's Riddle saying, "Don't be afraid to do it."
maybe he did, but I just think it's worth pointing out.
Oh, without a doubt, it's worth pointing out because I think if it goes forward, Matt Riddle is gonna essentially just be having these matches that are extremely strong style in a way, and that's just gonna and if you're doing something like that that's gonna cause the facial stuff on your cause blemishes or
Yeah, it makes him look more legit.
Absolutely, and I think that's what he's all about and why he's going to be so good.
Something I will say about Riddle that I noticed in this match is he's very hit and miss with his selling. There was the spot where Ohno stamped on his foot and then did the toe bite thing, and Riddle didn't sell either of them
Right.
afterwards, which I thought should have had.
Yeah, I think if you just kind of shake it off for a little bit, or if you just hobble.
Exactly,
once
just
or
show
twice.
it. But he was up again like a minute later, using that foot to balance and kick, and it's something that'll come more with time.
Yeah.
But I think it was just something.
Not like some beautiful bit of storytelling that happened later on.
Absolutely.
Velveteen Dream was in the house. Had some honeys on either side of him. Jammy little bastard.
He's just a Chad, isn't
I
he?
just love him. I just absolutely love him.
Absolute Chad.
He's just the best.
Love him to bits.
Next up was Johnny Gargano versus Ricochet for the NXT North American Championship. So I'm going to go through my notes because my last one may shock you a little bit. So I'm going to go through my notes. So first one was an amazing opening sequence.
Yeah, absolutely.
Really, really cool. This match is insane. They have not stopped, and they didn't stop.
No.
But the entire thing, it was spot after spot after spot.
There was
wasn't,
no downtime.
Wasn't a rest. There was barely a rest hold, and if there was, you didn't really notice it. Hurricane Rana counter was amazing.
Yeah, the one on the outside.
I think so. Or maybe it was the one. Was that into? No, I think that was the.
That was the reverse run on the outside.
No, that was the reverse run on the outside. The Hurricane Rana reverse was the one where he did it off the turnbuckle.
Oh yeah.
The one that Ospreay had done a couple. If Ospreay hadn't have done that a couple of weeks ago, I'd be amazingly impressed by that. But unfortunately, I have just seen someone do it, because he did it in the
nice to
match.
see it in the Fed.
Oh, it was amazing to see it in the Fed, and I think it's because obviously Ricochet and Ospreay, on social media and stuff, that is still well known. They're still very good friends, they're like brothers, and after what they've gone through with those matches that they've had, it's understandable. So I think it's gonna kind of be like anything you can do out there, I'm gonna do in here,
Yeah.
and I love that.
Me too.
Outer world battle, and I really hope that's what this is, because I just want to see the two of them up each other. Then the counter into the Gargano escape was Butte. I think he caught I can't remember what he did, but he counted something and got it into the Gargano escape.
I remember thinking that was the point that made me make one of my notes, which was that Johnny is just immensely fluid with everything.
Yeah.
I think Ricochet is, in terms of his athletic stuff and his transitions between moves, but Johnny's one of the best technical wrestlers on the roster.
He's one of the best wrestlers, hands down, on the roster.
But
In the
especially
entirety of the WWE.
Yeah, in terms
on the planet, I would argue. Gargano's amazing.
In terms of his technical ability, especially, it's something you don't see much of anymore. In a time where it's all about big flashy spots, Johnny can do that, but he can mat wrestle with the best of them as well.
Yeah, without a doubt. Then the dive over the corner post.
That was incredible.
Mentality.
I've never seen that.
That was insanity. It was I was about to say it again. It was insane. There we go.
Incredible.
Then there was a springboard 450, which was boss. Then a shooting star press, but he got the knees up, which was quite good about, because we only talked about that recently, about how the shooting star is still one of the most protected moves going. Then the reverse Rana on the outside, slingshot DDT, and he's still kicked out.
Yeah.
This match. Gargano escape on Gargano. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Love that little bit of storytelling. Although I would have thought, because normally, if you put somebody in their own submission, normally they know how to get out of it quite quickly. So I was expecting Gargano to have a better reverse for it.
I liked how he didn't.
Yeah, a little bit. A little bit sort of. Go on.
Because I think it played into Ciampa being in his head.
Okay, explain.
Because he's been working more of a... He's been relying less on the Gargano escape lately. If you'll go back and watch NXT TV, he's been winning a lot of matches with the slingshot DDT, with DDT variations, which is what Ciampa does a lot of the time. And I think he's been relying less and less on it. So it kind of makes sense that he...
Yeah, and it's also you wouldn't be thinking about that, and probably wasn't expecting Ricochet to put him in it either. So that plays into it as well. And then there was Gargano went and exposed the concrete on the side. Thought about suplexing or dropping Ricochet on it, rolled him back inside, and then when he didn't get the pinfall, took him outside, suplexed him onto the concrete, rolled him back in, and we have a new NXT North American champion.
Well deserved.
My final note, absolutely, this match was brilliant. My final note is this match may just have to go in my top 10.
Yeah, that's fair.
I enjoyed this match so much, and I was watching it just like, this is the most I haven't enjoyed a match this long in a long time.
I put in the chat last night after it finished in our official wrestling chat. This was on par with Armas Gargano.
Yeah,
for me.
Absolutely.
And
I didn't want to say anything at the time because of that comment.
Exactly.
This is without a doubt top 10 for me.
As I've said on this podcast and many others, Armas Gargano was my favourite match of all time. This was on par.
Yeah, this is going to be
so good. I have a couple of notes about this that I wanted to talk about. The pre-match package was great for this. It really hammed up the ongoing feud between Johnny and Tommy. Particular quote that I want to mention is from Johnny Gargano, who said, "Ricochet likes to jump around and feel like a superhero. When I want to feel like a superhero, I wake up in the morning."
I love that line.
That was so champerish, and it was so heelish.
Yeah.
And I love him turning heel, and something that I liked was a callback to that quote. I don't know if you noticed, both of them had superhero-inspired gear.
Yes.
Johnny Gargano had Iron Man. I
thought it was Wolverine.
Smacked of Iron Man to me because it was red and yellow.
I think it was Wolverine more. I think
I
think it was like people saying it was like Wolverine was like original comics Wolverine or something like that. It was an original version of Wolverine.
I got Iron Man from the red and yellow, but Wolverine might make more sense.
Ricochet I think he's done Wolverine in the past as well. Like he's done a more traditional colour of Wolverine. Yeah.
Ricochet was Spider-Man.
Spider-Man, Bobs.
That was cool. I love gear playing.
While we're on the gear, Johnny Gargano was a packet of bacon frazzles.
He was a packet of bacon frazzles. He smacked the bacon frazzles.
I looked at it, it's just like, well, that is absolutely, it's the exact same colours. You can't even get away from it.
And Ricochet was Bourneville.
It's too dark.
No, it should have been. Bourneville's dark chocolate, mate.
Yeah, I know, but Bourneville is a red packet.
Yeah,
like Shinsuke Nakamura.
He's Bourneville, yeah.
Was born because it's more red than it's black. He's more like a Blackjacks or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, what I mean, it needs to be predominantly black. He was a Coke, maybe a Coke Zero.
Maybe a Coke Zero.
Yeah, there's not too much white in there, but you know what I mean. Like that's how you got to play the game, Leo.
Fair enough. I'm but a student. Of
you
the
are
game.
but a student of what bar we will teach thee tonight.
Yeah, I loved Nigel throughout this match. He was really cool. There was a point where Ricochet did a chop and he just went, wham! Like, I love you.
Nigel McGuinness, you are a gem.
The corner alley-oop was really cool. I've never seen anyone move as fast as Gargano did to get out of the way. And I loved how they put in, you may not remember, but it was exactly the same spot as Apollo Crews and Braun Strowman. Apollo Crews, that standing moonsault he does. Right. Braun just kicks him out the air.
Oh, right.
That was the exact same spot.
No way.
I love that at the time.
That's cool.
It was the same match where Braun licked his head for some reason.
Okay.
But yeah, it was cool to see that spot making a resurgence.
That's cool.
And something I want to note as well is at the end of the match, before he did a slingshot DDT, Gargano said, "I win," which Ciampa would say later on.
Oh.
At the time, I made a note which said, "I win, smacks of Ciampa." So I'm not saying I called it.
Oh my days! Amazing.
I love the storytelling that's still going on with this.
Amazing. So Johnny Gargano is your new NXT North American champion, which is important to remember for something that happens later on.
Absolutely.
Next up was Bianca Belair versus Shayna Baszler for the NXT Women's Championship. Bianca Belair is undefeated.
They're both such great trash talkers.
They are brilliant. Shayna battered Bianca in the beginning. Proper, I was like, oh Christ, I'm just going to bury her here.
Yeah, I thought.
And then Bianca started to get a bit of comeback. She had a bit of a shine. It was a bit of a good.
Bianca looked nails as fuck. I don't know if you noticed.
What hard as fuck you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She just got in and was jacked. I was like, she looked like
super
harder than Shayna.
Future superstar written all over her.
Absolutely.
And that her is brilliant.
Yeah.
I think Taz quoted something like, because. Was it Taz or a former wrestler on Twitter said the exact same thing. She's got absolutely everything down. Promo skills. She's got the athleticism, the power, the agility, the speed, everything. Plus the hair is a brilliant gimmick.
Yeah. She is, I think, the female equivalent of Velveteen Dream, because she hasn't been wrestling very long. She's been wrestling 2 years?
Something like that. Yeah, she's very young as well.
She's very athletic. She's got immense amounts of charisma. She can change a character to suit the crowd
as well. Yeah,
she's immensely confident. I think, and she's a homegrown talent.
Yeah,
which Velveteen Dream is mostly.
Pretty much is, yeah.
You know, he's really developed his stride in WWE. I think they're both.
He's pretty much is, isn't he?
He wrestled elsewhere.
Did he?
One time he was tag champions with Leo Rush.
Oh right, okay.
Can't remember where, but
Fair enough. I thought he was homegrown
Mostly.
because I think he was in Tough Enough, wasn't he?
He was.
And the only one to sort of succeed from that season.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Yeah, they were really, really good. Both of them.
They the whip with her and it left a mark as well.
Yeah, she cut her open.
Oh god, that must
brutal.
hurt. That's just unbelievable. Can you imagine if she's got like a, Peaky Blinders have like a razor blade
in it.
and the side of the cap, she's just got one and
she
tucked
has
into
like
her hair.
diamantes and sequins in it.
At the top of it, not like further down the bit where she whips it. Like I would imagine
she should.
maybe like like proper sparkly down.
Yeah, I thought it was genius how Shayna used Bianca's hair against her.
Yeah, that was really cool. I
Because
quite
that's
like
the first
that.
time it's been done.
Yeah, really, really cool. It was a matter of time. Like one
Yeah.
of John Kenny, one of the trainers at Infinite Gym, always says to us, if a guy has long hair, that is your match sorted. Like especially if you're a heel, because you can just grab that hair and that is like it overcoming it and just using that to tug it, and you've got a whole match based around that. So it was bound to happen sooner or later, but I'm glad Shayna's the first person to do it.
Absolutely. Shayna really impressed me in this match, as she always does.
Mm-hmm.
She's got a very unique in-ring style. She's always working the limbs. She does it in a different way every time. She manages to make it look so brutal every time. Shayna's fantastic. She's absolutely should have won Female Competitor of the Year for me.
That's what we said, yeah. But yeah, and then the ref got knocked out, which you don't often see in women's matches, which was quite nice. And of course, it was the female referee as well. I've forgotten her name, otherwise I'd give her a shout out.
Yeah, she did well this match. I thought.
Yeah, brilliant.
I did early on in the match though. She had the slowest 5 count I have ever seen.
Oh bless.
I don't know what it was, but I was watching it and I was like, I don't know if it was because I was tired, but I was like, I feel like days have passed between 1 and 2. I'm sure you wanted to tap out now. But,
bless.
Speaking of tapping out, I think it was a really smart move having Bianca pass out and not tap out.
Yeah, and I think having the couple of fake outs of her trying to get out of it. Well, she did get out of it once, didn't she? Suplexed her out of it. And then having a stand up and then not quite being strong enough. I think that was really cool. Of like, she's like, I'm not quite ready for this yet. I'm not quite there. She's there. She put on a brilliant match. It was absolutely brilliant. I would argue this match was better than the main.
I would.
And so she put on a brilliant match, but she's not ready to take the title from Shayna yet. I think that's what that was. I love that.
At this point, it's worth mentioning Sam Roberts.
Oh, what a fucking knob.
I fucking hate him.
What a fucking cunt.
There's no need.
What a fucking cunt.
There is no need to bury talent like that on an NXT pre-show.
NXT pre-show. Those two things hand in hand. Future talent and before the main card of a takeover.
Yeah.
Like, get the fuck out of that company.
Sam Roberts does not know what he's talking about.
Absolutely not.
He's proved it several times over, and I think this should be the nail in the coffin for his pre-show.
You're a fucking we can kind of say this because we are, and we brand ourselves as a few good marks. You're a fucking mark who's getting paid to say stuff that you think other people are saying. You have no opinions of your own. You said that purely to try and create some controversy, and it wasn't fucking needed. Go fuck yourself.
Absolutely.
Bianca Belair, absolute future star, like we said
absolutely
before.
Deserved this one.
And deserved this match, proved she deserved this match, and will continue to... and she may as well be champion by the end of the year.
If he'd have said, I don't think she can beat Shayna because Shayna's too strong, fine.
Yeah, absolutely, because that's what we've just said, that finish, demoted.
It's the fact he had to say, I don't think she's ready for TakeOver.
Yeah.
There was no need.
Fuck you.
And
who are you? You get on a TakeOver show?
Yeah.
Knobhead.
He shouldn't be on a pre-show panel again, in my opinion.
Get fucked. Anyway, moving on. Final matchup, main event of the night for the NXT Championship. Aleister Black taking on champion Tommaso Ciampa. It was boss. It was a really good match. Well, it wasn't really good. It was a good match.
This was the first note. Well, one of the notes I've got is an okay match. It was okay, but it was the worst of the night.
It was the worst of the night. There was some nice storytelling moments. Admittedly, there was nice working on the. I don't know. I have this thing with Black that he only works well with certain people, and I don't think he works well with Ciampa at all.
I don't think so. I think it's because I wasn't invested in this match. Every other match on the card we haven't seen before.
Yeah, this is one we have seen. This is a rematch.
We've seen this before. We were expecting something with Johnny Gargano, and when we have to expect Gargano to get involved, it shows that maybe these two don't have the chemistry to stand out on their own.
Yeah, stand out on their own. And but I think more than anything, this was part of an ongoing storyline, and was almost a storyline match in that sense, because Ciampa, of course, did the same thing, ripped up the concrete. Did he plant him on it as well? Did he do the exact same thing, or did he not end up planting him on it?
He didn't plant him in it.
No, but he still ripped it up, and it was the exact same piece, and all the parallels were there. And Ciampa retained in what was a decent match.
It was solidly okay.
It was an okay main event. I like. It wasn't the worst NXT main event there's ever been.
No.
I think probably one with Bobby Roode has been worse with Bobby Roode, which is a shame because Bobby's amazing. But this takeover as a whole was brilliant, and it just dipped a little. It was going to be hard. Let's be honest. Yeah. Every single match had this. Okay, follow that. Okay, follow that. Okay, follow that. Okay, follow that, and then got to the main event and just went. Yeah, after those good matches, no, we can't.
This was an occasion where, and it happens sometimes, the video package was better than the match.
Yeah.
It was a stellar video package for it.
Yeah.
But it wasn't a great match. The ref spot was disgusting. I don't know if you remember the bit where he went for the black mass and the referee stumbled in the way. It looked like a botch, but it probably wasn't.
No, I think he did pull him into it, but I think the ref just sort of fell over.
It was just ugly.
So I think the ref. I mean, I don't mind a little bit of ugliness in matches. It makes it look a little bit more real. But
see, to me, it didn't look real. It made it look more choreographed.
A little bit. I guess it fumbly bumbly, and he just sort of dragged him. And maybe he wasn't expecting it.
Yeah, but it just took away from what was already a match I wasn't too invested in.
Fun. But anyway, Ciampa won with was it Fairy Tale Ending? His finisher. It was his
third
fourth.
Of the match.
Yeah, third.
Was it the fourth?
I think it was the fourth. No.
Anyway,
he counted. I think it was the third or fourth.
This match made the Fairy Tale Ending look weak, basically.
Well, it didn't because the first time he hit it and he kicked out, like fair enough, it's Aleister Black, fair. Second one he hit, but then he picked him up of his own volition because in his own mind he thought, I really want to put you away here, which then cost him and he reversed it, and then the third one put him away. So it doesn't make it look really weak, but then you've also got to remember it also makes Black look strong as.
Yeah, it does.
So it's like that's the two comparison. It doesn't make like just because one finisher puts away. That one finisher will put away someone like Kona Reeves or something like that. It will put him away in one, but this is Aleister Black, so it's going to take more than one to finish him off. But yeah, so then Tommaso Ciampa's walking up the ring, goes up to the apron, holds the NXT title aloft. We get the logo at the bottom of the screen. Like, yeah, brilliant. Come on, what are you giving us this time? Come on, let's expect it. And so I've Gargano run out, batter him or something like that. Gargano walks out, and we're like, oh.
I thought he was going to batter him.
Walks out with his title, with his newly gained North American title.
Which looks fab on him, by the way.
It's beautiful. I think the gear matched it, so it worked really well. And he just holds it aloft, stood side by side with Ciampa. DIY looked to have reformed.
The point I made earlier about Undisputed Era saying they're going to win all the titles this year, I think DIY are going to do it.
Yeah.
I think Ciampa's going to stay champion, Johnny's going to stay champion, and they're going to win the tag titles
off War Raiders. That would be such an amazing story. I think, that's without doubt, undoubtedly, I think that's what's going to happen. I could firmly see that happening.
And I love heel DIY more than I love face DIY.
Oh my god! It's brilliant. This is so cool to have happened.
Yeah, because they're both coming into their own as heels.
Yeah, without doubt, they're on the road as heels, and then as a heel tag team, they're going to be so hated.
Yeah.
And it's just going to be fantastic to watch.
Johnny, how could you?
That was just a brilliant way to end. And then apparently there was a whole...
Big brawl?
Big brawl at the end as well, yeah, apparently.
Dream got involved?
Dream, Cole, Aleister Black and somebody else got involved as well. Mentality.
They're all in there.
Brilliant. I'm pretty sure we'll see more of that probably on NXT on Wednesday.
I would imagine so.
There we go. So that, folks, was an hour and 15 of us talking about NXT. We're not done yet, apparently.
We're not done yet.
Oh my god, Croft.
Tonight is the Royal Rumble.
Oh, yes it is, baby! This is literally going to go out in about... I'm going to try and get this out in about 20 minutes, by the way. So this literally will finish recording this. But
who do you think from NXT we are going to see in the Rumble?
Okay.
If anyone.
Can we have 3 picks? 3 picks for each?
Yeah, I reckon.
Let's go for 3 picks for each. Okay, so I'll say Velveteen Dream for one for the men's. I'll say... maybe Aleister Black. I don't know. I'd like maybe Johnny Gargano actually. I'm gonna say yeah. So I'm gonna go Velveteen Dream, Johnny Gargano, and maybe NXT UK. So Pete Dunne.
Pete Dunne, fair dude.
Pete Dunne.
My three for the men's.
For the men's.
Would be almost the same.
Yeah.
Velveteen Dream, Johnny Gargano.
Yeah.
And Aleister Black.
And
Because I don't think Black's coming back to NXT.
I really think he's gone.
I think they're calling him up.
Wow.
And I really hope it's to SmackDown.
Yeah, I think everyone's praying anybody goes to SmackDown at the moment.
Yeah.
I said this a while ago. I was just like, anybody who gets called up, anybody, I'm just praying they get drafted to SmackDown at the moment.
Absolutely.
SmackDown is sorting its shit out, and they have to because they're going over to Fox, and Fox want better ratings, so absolutely fair to them. Women's...
For the women's, I would say...
Go on, you first.
Shayna Baszler,
Yes.
Kairi Sane,
Yeah.
and Io Shirai for the marks.
Okay. I will say Bianca Belair.
No, good shout.
Yeah. I don't think Shayna, because I think they want to try and keep her strong without having a... I mean, you can make people look strong and still not win the Rumble, but I don't think that's the way forward. I think maybe Rhea Ripley or Toni Storm.
Yeah, that's a good shout.
One of the two. Actually, I'll just go with the both of them. So
Yeah.
I'll go with... I'll go Bianca Belair, Toni Storm and Rhea Ripley. And yeah,
picks.
so brilliant. So
Nothing to do with NXT, by the way, but
okay.
earlier this week,
Right.
Tatanka confirmed he's in the Rumble.
Hashtag tank confirmed.
Tatanka confirmed. He's making his way up the card, baby.
You can expect to hear our massive pop for that in our reactions video for the Royal Rumble.
You better turn up now. Before
I know,
he
right?
doesn't.
Which will be released next Friday. Anyway, folks, that was Recent Developments episode 10, bumper issue, 1 hour 20 minutes. It's probably the longest we've ever done.
I reckon so.
But that was a very fun episode. I very much enjoyed that.
I need to sleep now.
Yeah, no, well, we're going to go over with Indian, so let's go and scran. And then we're going to come back and do reaction videos for the Rumble as well, and a couple more other podcasts as well to come your way. So, thanks for listening, folks. We hope you enjoyed NXT UK TakeOver and NXT TakeOver as much as we did. Do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe to us on YouTube, on Instagram, on Twitter, and give us a like on Facebook.
Do not forget to check out our blogger as well.
Indeed.
There's one coming next week, fresh off the press from me.
Oh, hello.
Which is a retrospective and prospective to the future timeline of the Gargano Ciampa feud.
Oh.
And what I think's coming next.
Oh,
so
days.
check that out.
Oh,
Should be out by next Friday.
That sounds very exciting. Okay, so so don't forget to check that out. And we will see you very soon. Cheers for listening, folks. Bye!
Bye-bye.